Hello friends, Tanya here with day 8 of the Spellbinders 2025 12 Days of Stitchmas. Let's take a look at day number 8's door. Oh, that's another fun. I really love the images. I know I say this every day. I love the images on this. It's very, I don't know, Norwegian or Scandinavian look to me, that cozy, um, simple aesthetic. We have a cute little stocking cap or a toque if you're Canadian, and a word that or a sentiment that says snow day. This looks like a really fun one to play with. And this will work for more than just Christmas. So we have the hat or the crown part of the hat, and I'm using some colorful cardstock and white diamond metallic thread. There is a medallion style stitching on the top of the hat. And then there are some other stitching holes on the lower portion of the crown of the hat that really accent the die cut parts into the die cut elements into the hat there. So there's some beautiful knitted detail here. And I decided to do a little extra stitching here, doing a outline along the top and the bottom of these lower stitches. Sometimes I like to add just a little bit of extra stitching. Now you could even do some stitching around the top of that medallion. And I honestly don't remember if I did that or not, but that is one of the ways you can add some extra specialness to the stitching that you're doing. Now, if you're making this an ornament that you're going to hang on the tree and is going to last longer, I guess I would put more effort into the stitching, add more details. Oh, I sure did. I went around the top of the medallion on this because I just thought it would look so pretty. And I did leave a long tail so I can tie this off when I'm done. I'm just doing up, down. Am I doing the running stitch here, or am I just filling it in as I go? I really can't tell. No, I'm doing the running stitch. So I will just do up one and down the next, all the way across, turn around, and then do the same and complete the stitching all the way around. And that, I think, really adds a nice finished detail on this hat. So you could really make this a really special stitched element. If you're really enjoying the stitching, maybe you want to do that anyway, just because it looks cute and you enjoy the process. This doesn't have to be about something you're going to sell or keep. It can just simply be about the joy you get from the process of the creation. You don't even have to give it away. If it sits in a box in your home and you're the only one that sees it and you're the only one that pets it, that's okay too. If you want to create just for your own joy, that is absolutely allowable. I also stitched just the bar stitch across the lower portion of the hat, and then we also have a little medallion to stitch on the pom-pom. You again don't have to do any more stitching than you want. So you could stitch or you could leave it unstitched. I like the way that this looks kind of like a snowflake. And again, I'm just putting glue on these stitches because that's all that will touch the backer for each of these pieces. And I did cut a backer for each of them so that the color that shows through the holes is the color of that element. I do recommend putting a heavyweight block or something on top of these while they dry, just to make sure that the glue on these stitches makes good solid contact with the paper behind it. And that'll make sure that your element is well adhered to its backer. I do add a little glue on the bottom portion and around the edges on the main portion of the hat to give it lots of things to stick to. Once all of the elements are well dried, I will adhere them together to form our cute little hat. Now you can see that I have a couple other colors here, all die cut and stitched and ready to go to make our project today. There we go. I did use a warm gray to do the band of the white one. Next, we're going to pull in the Altenew Puffy Heart and Pool inks here to do some ink blending on this background. I'm starting with the Pool, and I'm just using an ink blending brush to apply this to the cardstock. This is a 5x7 piece of cardstock. It's going to, of course, being another 5x7 card. I do love that size. It is my favorite. It gives you lots of room to put lots of elements on and really gives you room to play. I'm trying not to overlap these too much because I don't really want a lot of purple in this. And then I decided I needed a little bit lighter of a pink, so I pulled out the rose quartz, and you saw me try to get some of the extra ink off of that ink brush before I added the lighter pink. Next, I have one of the stencils from the, I believe it's the July stencil of the month. And I can't believe I didn't show you what it was. Um, what was it called? Warm and Woven? I don't remember. Hopefully I show it to you. Anyway, it has two different designs in this stencil set. There is the woven look or the knit look here, and then there was like a Nordic sweater pattern that you could do that had like 4 layers. And I just chose to do this knit look. And I'm using the same colors of ink to ink blend in a gradient up the pattern here. I was able to overlap the stencil design to continue the design across the entire piece of cardstock because these are, I think this is a stencil that's designed for an A2 size card front, but I do love to stretch my supplies. Now that I have that all stenciled, I'm going to use a die from the 5x7 Matting Basics Set B. This is the largest die from that die set. And I added a little bit of cardstock scraps behind that piece again, and we'll glue that to our 5x7 landscape oriented card base. Now I'm going to start gluing our 3 little hats to the front of the card. I'm going to have the white hat be the center one, and we'll use the pool colored and the coral colored one on the actual base. Next, I'm pulling out an action wobble. I just love these things. They are such a simple and fun device to use on the front of your card. They're very easy. They're pretty inexpensive. And I'm using my Tulin one here. It's got a nice little hooked piece on it that helps peel off those backers. Has a little barb on the end of this angled pick here, and it's so easy to pull off the backer with that little barbed hook on the end. Once I have all of that backer taken off, I just adhere that to the front of the card, and oh, it's so cute. We're also going to use that sentiment that says snow day, which of course, as kids, that was like the best, right? To have a snow day. You'd think in Minnesota we have lots of snow days. No, we don't. But it meant an extra day off at school. Next, I pulled out some pearly white sequins from my stash. Whatever you can find. These happen to be the Pearly Gates ones from Trinity Stamps. Lots of places make fun sequin mixes. I was just digging through my stash. I really encourage you to use what you have and save your crafty dollars for the new things that you just can't live without. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of stenciling on the inside of this card. And I'm just going to use the same colors, and I'm not pulling out the ink pads. I just want to use the ink that's left on the brushes to create a more soft blending on the inside. Another one of my favorite ways to add detail to the inside. Next, we're going to take some sentiments from the Better Press and the Glimmer of the Month from July 2025, Festive Press and Glimmer Press, I think it was. And I'm going to use the sentiments from those sets and die cut them with the coordinating dies. I have Let It Snow. I'm going to put that on one of the hats, and then I'm going to add, oh gosh, I'm still out of town. I don't have these with me. This says Cozy Wishes. And then inside of our card, I am going to add a sentiment that says sending winter hugs. I think that is perfect for this card. I'm also going to add some sequins to the inside of the card. And those sentiments had all been glimmer foiled when I was creating with my 10 cards of the month for July. So I was able to pull those out of my stash and just die cut them. That is a time saving tip for me. And they're glimmered in the moon dust foil. I had a lot of fun creating this card. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done that. Check that description box below for a link to all of the products that I used today. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. There are a few more days of the Stitchmas left, and you can still get your hand on the Stitchmas Advent Calendar. Until tomorrow, here are a couple more videos I thought you might enjoy. Bye-bye.